LAT picking up Kenny might have ended his career. I feel sorry for Kenny, not gonna lie. This guy's confidence must have been absolutely ruined last year. He seemed to play a little better when he was off Optic. I really feel like confidence is his issue. Probably should have dropped to a bottom team or a challenger here and had a chance to build the confidence back up. Even LAT has put a ton of pressure on him again, and no chance to build the confidence back up. I said this at the start of the season. Everyone's been retiring this year. The whole Optic last year, and he was clearly aware of the problem. I also wouldn't be surprised if he I mean, me, man. I think, yeah, we talked about it a bit on the podcast today as well, man. I think Kenny, oh, that's cool. I think he, definitely got thrown into a pretty hard spot. Ton of pressure on his shoulders for sure. I don't think he's retiring for at least a few years though, but no matter what happens. Do you know what that's worth? I don't think I've really seen a situation like this for Kenny where everyone in the league or every fan that watches him play just wants to see him do bad, man. It's so fucked up. They want to see him do bad, and they want to put in the chat, like, fucking say his name. They want to put in the chat, fucking drop Kenny, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, Jesus fuck, man. This is weird. This is weird. LT hardpoint engagements for 10. Ranking so far this season. Captain 7th, Kings 36, Hydra 45th, and aBeZy 47. That's a clear outlier. That's very weird. That's very fucking weird. aBeZy is the type of player who's usually like first one in, fucking doesn't give a fuck if he comes out type shit. And right now he's kind of like hiding on the map, which just kind of shows you that he's not only uncomfortable, but doesn't want to make the wrong play, right? Which is weird, man. That is definitely weird. Not only that, Kenny has the second highest OBJ 10 minutes, damage for 10 minutes, game 10 minutes, and a higher KD than Hydra. He doesn't play hard point correctly, and the overload looks like randomly. Scrap their IGL. Scrap is probably talking the most in their calls and stuff, but I wouldn't necessarily say an IGL role really. Scrap's probably the one talking the most because he's playing the best and he's very vocal and stuff. I don't know how much their coach, I think it's Sender, how much he's really having an impact on him. Yeah, I saw that Hazman, the Deadpool stuff. That's kind of cool. Small sample size, but Scrap also leads the league in HP damage for 10 minutes. Yeah, he does do a lot of damage. He's a very fast AR for sure. I don't know if I would call him fast AR, but he definitely takes a lot of gunfights. I think when you create a one and done culture like Nate has, our Native American, no, I'm Japanese Italian, bro. It's good PS. LAT blowed up or wait till next major. I mean, I've kind of been under my whole career, man. Like, I've always been like a firm believer. Like, I mean, we talked about it a lot on the podcast today, so you guys will definitely see a lot of it, pretty soon. But the whole thing about like how much stock is just in online in general now is kind of wild to see. Back in the day, like you'd have teams who were traditionally like much better on land, and they'd be scrimming and stuff like with the thought of like, can't wait to get my get back on these teams on land. Fuck all this online shit. And nowadays it's kind of flipped. Like you're down to make a roster change before a major and stuff, and you're down to have doubts and lose faith in your team before major ones even happened. We're only 4 matches in the league. Like, it's kind of crazy. Millsy, thank you for the prime, bro. It's just kind of wild how much different it looks now. This play was good, man. I love how JP really made an effort here to let the whole community know that it was Brandon who scammed, and he shows it. This is good. Because look, instead of Brandon rapping first spawner right here, rapping here to fight 8 and potentially stop the ball guy, he goes top green and goes out here, and this guy gets across. Hey, Cito, thank you for the prime for 39, bro. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I think a lot of the I do think a lot of the pro teams being so like quick on the trigger with replacing people and having bad online results and immediately jumping to like we need to replace one of the challengers player is because of Merc. I think Merc came into Optic and he did something for them that can't really even be understated. Like, dude, this kid turned an 0-18 roster in the grand scheme of things to back-to-back winning their 2 biggest events of the year. And carrying it on into the new game as well. He looks so good too. Like, it's everyone's looking for the next Merc, right? You never know if he's around the corner or if you're gonna get some. You know, I think he's kind of like an insane case, bro. Like he's really good, dude. And he came straight from challengers and stuff. It's kind of nuts. Yeah, I think Merc is I don't think there's another player like Merc in the challenger scene right now. I don't think that he's out there. I think some of these teams should be confident in the rosters they have and at least take it into the land, you know. The Russell Wilson of God. Yeah, that's sad. We'll never get backlash for signing with Rubet. Simp without aBeZy, aBeZy without Simp. It sucks too, man, because like, I mean, dude, we talked about it on the podcast a little bit. Like, bro, the reason I'm not losing faith in aBeZy just yet is because I know what that kid like brings to a team, dude. Like, if you get that kid in a comfort bag, if you even look at just the first match of the season where they played against FaZe, and if you guys remember, it was just a 1v1 between him and Simp. Like the match was a 3-0, but it was like every map could have gone either way. fucking them two were just like clipping each other non-stop, 3-piece here, 3-piece there, and then now obviously we have a different aBeZy though. It's like an uncomfortable aBeZy, you know. It's like it sucks, man. It sucks. I still think that LAT can go to the first major, and like you see them on a main stage, bro. They play against a top team. Who the fuck knows what will happen, bro? That team on paper is very good. Those are like players that will show up on stage, you know. So I don't think that they should give up just yet. And it sucks too because their next league match is against Optic, and like holy fuck, man, all eyes will be on that. But it's also a good thing too because you get a chance here. They have a decent position here to put in some serious work this week. Fucking just ignore all the bullshit that's being said about them, especially Kenny and aBeZy. Like, just say fuck it, put their heads down this week, fucking come out a different team, you know, when they play Optic. And if they beat Optic, then the whole narrative changes like that. It's just instant. Like, it's there's so much crazy how fast things can change for you. On the flip side too, though, if they lose that, then I mean, dude, you're going into Major 1, fucking no confidence at all. So it's a really unique situation. Like the land's around the corner, but there's all these speed bumps on the way there that can really affect how they perform at the land as well. But if they win out from here on and they go into that land with some confidence, who the fuck knows what happens, bro? You know? Why did Ultra drop Merc? Makes no sense considering how well he was doing on Optic Dynamic. I'm pretty sure Merc was only on Ultra because of visa issues. And once those visa issues were solved for Beans, they put him back on the roster. God, think about that for a second, man. The only reason Merc's really on Optic is because like he did so well in Toronto, and like Optic named a player, and they pick up this kid who's like on Toronto, went to the LAN because of visa issues, and then like he does well in LAN, you pick him up, and he's Merc. Like fucking crazy. Look, I don't give a fuck anymore. Yo, you know what's crazy? You guys ever hear anyone say this in real life? You'll see it in TV shows all the time. You see it in movies all the time, where someone starts a sentence by saying, "Look." Next time you watch a show, just pay attention to it. I never hear anyone say that shit IRL. I've never had someone come to me and said, "Look," and start a sentence. That's fucking, I don't know. That's just crazy. Look, I don't give a fuck anymore. LAT has been my favorite team since BO4. I went through it all, seeing them be utterly ass in Cold War, to winning it all at Champs the next year. There's always been some ups and downs, but these past months have been the worst ever. Point is, LAT fans need to start holding Scrap Hydra more accountable. Everyone wants to shit on Ken, rightfully so. But Hydra Abe have been hot garbage as a duo, and they all look lost. Now we gotta have Neum play Superman for the team that has 2 MVPs. Oh. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's fucked. All fucked. We won't let you sub? That's weird. I don't even really say listen. I don't say that either. I feel like that's just like a crazy comp. I mean, dude, it's so hard to look at this team like on paper and think that they're gonna be bad. Like they have lost. It sucks that they lost 2 really big matches like lately. Like I think if they played any other team but Gentlemates before the break, a lot of the narratives around the roster would have been a little different, right? Like say they lost to Toronto before the break. It's because they played against their ex-teammates, I think adds a little more value to the match, right? They played against Ghosty and Envoy right before Christmas. So we went to that Christmas break after Ghosty gets his revenge, fucking fries the fuck out of him. Obviously, Scrap Hydra, like, you know, probably not too happy about that, but the community, I think, was all watching that because it was like Ghosty versus his ex-team, you know, Ghosty and Envoy. And they come back from the break, get fucking ran by Toronto, really. It's all bad, man. Nice, bro. Thank you for the tier 1 CDL Hater Central. If LAT offer you FormaL, would you accept? No? I'm not gonna go. I mean, actually, depends on much. I'll go in there and get ran for, you know, a couple $100,000. Get some, like, viewers on the match and shit. But on a real note, like I said, the Thieves, they have a decent spot still, bro. They're only 2-2. They're not in losers bracket yet. They're still in a position here to start in winners bracket and change the whole narrative. They could beat Optic on Friday or Saturday, whatever the fuck they play, and it's all different, man. But I mean, the ball's in their court. We'll see what they do with it, you know. Sunday, you're still on Windows 10. Does that matter? I mean, dude, I can't imagine the amount of tension. It's either from the outside perspective, it looks like there's either so much tension in that room when they're practicing now, and it's almost like it's warranted, right? Because of all the shit that's being said and stuff, like there's just tension building and building and building, and it has to release at some point, man. So when do you think it's a fair time to sub someone from Challengers for a player like? Yeah, I think the tipping point is Major 1. If Thieves go to Major 1, let's say they lose Optic on Sunday, but they win out the rest of their matches and they start in winners bracket, have a decent shot to perform at the Major, and they still do bad, they get, you know, top 8, top 6, Make a change instantly. Instantly make a change. Things are not going to change. Fucking, that's it. But you gotta ride it out until the major, in my opinion. You can't just give up on your roster before a major. That's insane. You got me with 5 this week. All right, bet. You can't. What placement do they stick? I think they gotta make it to the final to stick. Maybe top 3, but I think a final guarantees that they stick for major 2. Because of, you know, getting a top 4 doesn't really cut it either. Top 3, I could see it. Top 2, I think they definitely stick. Do players give up on their teams and ask for a drop, or do they just flop on purpose to force it? I don't think. I mean, I've never been on a roster that's done that, where you kind of like throw on purpose. I can't really speak on everyone. I'm sure it could have happened. I haven't really been paying that much attention the past couple of years, but it's not like the NBA or something where they're throwing to get to like last seed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like that, I don't think. But something that's very common is once you realize your team is shit and that you get the idea of like, I want to make a roster change, you just subconsciously start giving up on everyone, right? Except for like the one duo you have on the team who you're the one that side texts him after every scrim. You're talking to him about who you want to pick up because you know that your spots are safe, shit like that, you know? But in the grand scheme of things, like, I think that Thieves should just give it to the major. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the way Scrap looked, it was kind of telling, right? Definitely checked, definitely angry, definitely sad. It's a tough situation to be in, man. It is, and it sucks that the way that the format's set up, that once you take a loss like that, you have to just fucking sit on that shit for a week, bro. Like, there's no bounce back losers bracket match to like, you know, be like, okay, maybe we had a bad series. You just gotta go into the week like that, like last match of the fucking weekend, and then everyone's watching it, and then you just get fucking, damn. They're just marinating that for a week. That's insane, bro. I think top 3 with some dominance on the way might be enough. Yeah, that's a decent point, Kamikaze. That's a decent point. I think top 3 is, it depends how they get it. Sure. And G2's actually in last. This fall off is kind of nuts, man. They were my dark horse team for the whole year, and they just really haven't been showing up. They lost all the game 5s. I really don't know what their deal is. They really only win Colossus Hardpoint. They lose every overload. This is kind of nuts too. Miami being 1-3 is kind of nuts. Ravens make a change. They bounce back 2-2. Good for them. 2-2. I mean, no clear front runner yet, man. Like, everyone's got a loss, right? So everyone's beatable so far in just a few weeks of matches. I think with Abe and Hydra, but yeah, I don't really know. I think that from what I've gathered, it seems like Hydra has a very Shotzzy-esque playstyle where he's kind of okay playing an island and he wants to, you know, get in his own little bag around the map. Whereas with Simp, working with Abe, Simp was like aiding Abe the way he should have, where like Abe's going in, getting 1, getting another guy weak, Simp comes in, gets 1, and then gets 2. And then it's like, now you have this godlike duo, right? That like dynamic they have just throughout the years, that was pretty consistent, where Abe would go in, get 1 that he has no business winning, Simp follows it up, gets 2, boom, you have a break, or boom, you know, there's a play. Right now, it seems like Abe's kind of on an island. It's tough, man. Tough. It's tough. You think Miami's fairly ranked? If not, would you place them? I think Miami's better than a 1-3 team, if I'm being honest. Not sure what their issue is there. They picked up a new player. Have something to do with it. I still think they can do anything on land. I just really think we got to wait till the first major to really have a good grasp on how people actually are good, you know, or bad. What if Thieves have Scrap fill the S Simp role and trade aBeZy like Simp? Would it work similarly? Fuck no. You're saying put Scrap on a sub? No, bro. That's not their solve. Have I looked at JP's analytics yet? No. I think scrims start. I think they're supposed to have started a second ago. We spoke with Legend recently. What happened with him going back to France? The last time I spoke to Legend was right when Stallions announced that they had to re-pick him up for the elite qualifiers, and I texted him and I was wondering. First, I was wondering if he was in France. I was like, "Are you adult enough to really like make this happen overnight?" Like, I know you announced that you or like talked to your team, and you know they said, "I don't want to go back to France. I don't want to play anymore." So I was like, "There's no way Severy's just in France already." So I texted him, and then he said he was still here, and I kind of tried to inspire him a little bit. Said like, "I don't think you should give up on COD yet. I know it's a rough start, but you can't be like just giving up like that, man. You have a decent opportunity here where you're like, you know, you have eyes on challengers." I still think he needs to start to stream a little more because I do think he is actually really good, and I think people need to actually see that. I think the best way in challengers to get your POV out there and just make people actually pay attention to how good you are is to stream. Do you think Simp can make every other SMG in the league shine hardly like he did with the aBeZy? Do you think Simp can make every other SMG in the league shine hardly like he did with the aBeZy and stuff? I don't know what your question is. I think Simp's really good. I do think a lot of Simp's success came from aBeZy and the way that he played. I think there were a few MVPs there that could have easily gone either way. and aBeZy's role is a lot harder. Obviously, Simp has statistically had much better stats throughout the years. He's kind of like, you know, he has like an insane sub KD. It's the way he plays though, and Simp's really fucking good as he is. He wins a lot of gunfights on his own. It's not like he needs aBeZy, but it did help a lot. I mean, if he elevates any SMG in the CDL, I'm sure playing with Simp's very easy. I think that he's not only like really good at killing and stuff, but he's also just very smart. You can tell by the way that he maneuvers the map, or just, you know, watching his air on the map. He knows what the fuck's going on. He's not just reacting to gunfights and stuff. Like he's playing very proactive on the map, like at all times. He's a very smart player. He's a smart kid, you know. Like, it's good. Farhan, are you gonna play ranked at all next month? We'll be grinding the fuck out of ranked. You reckon there will be any major top 4 team roster moves before major 1? I mean, that's what we were kind of talking about earlier. I don't know. I think teams should wait until after the major, no matter what. CJ, thank you for the tier 1, brother. Thank you so much, man. Welcome. I was wondering when your name is attached to someone else, it can get to you, like not getting flowers. No, for sure. I bet there is something there. Whether or not, you know, he'll admit it or not. I think aBeZy always had to sit back and kind of let Simp get not all the gas. But I know there were times when me and Brandon would talk about it when I was still playing. Like, dude, aBeZy's fucking him. Like, this kid's him. Like, you could feel his pressure on the map way more than you feel Simp's at times. But obviously Simp was still really good. But you could tell what aBeZy was really doing for that roster on the fucking map, you know? So I'm sure there is something there, like some sort of, you know, I don't know. Obviously they're good friends and stuff. I don't think that they're like mortal enemies now that they've stopped playing together as the Tiny Terrors. I just think that, who would you rather in your team? I think it'd be easier to work with someone, if you're talking both like in playing their best. I think aBeZy is very, 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 very good. I think him and Simp complement each other really well. I just don't think there's that many players like aBeZy out there. Not saying there's a lot like Simp really, but that duo was insane when they were on point. I don't know. I'd probably play with aBeZy depending on the other sub that I have, right? I would be playing still. I've always thought like playing with an aBeZy would be super easy, because you have someone that's like so selfless but so fucking insane. Like having that like just like ideology of I'm gonna go in. I don't give a fuck if I come out that room, but if you just come in behind me and you do your shit, I will fucking do mine, you know, like that thought is just insane. Like I would love to play with something like that. And just see like what the game feels like. Was Seth like Simp? Yeah, Seth was definitely more Simp-esque. Like I always told him about it, saying like he always made me like slide in first and stuff, which did happen. I think after I stopped teaming with Seth for whatever reason, he got a little more selfless. See, I don't even think Shotzzy falls in the category of aBeZy. Like players that I think of that were like aBeZy, at least when I played, were like Phoenix. Always felt like there was the European aBeZy when he was on a sub on Toronto Ultra. He felt like the same type of style. Kyler is another one. I don't know. Those two were very similar. Like those 3 players all played very similar. Like just an entry, just running into it, just busting down a fucking door. Fucking whatever happens, happens, bro. Let's just rip the band-aid, you know? That type of player is just like very interesting. Bance? Yeah, I guess. Bance was definitely selfless, but I don't think Bance was like busting down doors like that. I think Shotzzy and Hydra are in like their own little like skill tree of players, like where they're like more methodical. They kind of like trying to feel the flow of the map. They like playing timings. Like Envoy's also kind of in that tree, but not necessarily the same. But Shotzzy, Hydra are definitely very like close in the way they play for sure. See, like Shotzi's different because like, so when you were playing against like I can really only speak on how it felt for me when I played in Cold War. So when I was playing against Dallas Empire, right, you had Crim and Clay on ARs, and then you had Shotzzy and Kyler on subs, and that sub duo is just so good. So like let's say Checkmate for example, on the plane map. I come off spawn, I'm coming to a heady, blah blah blah. I'm going to like those P4 boxes or like whatever. You look at the plane, you see one of the ARs on the wing, staring at me. Kyler or Shotzi's in my exit, like he's up top in the exit, but he's just shouldering or sliding around or doing something. And then you got Kyler who's just kind of aping you, and like the ARs can kind of just sit there and post up and just like look over them, you know. And it was just like hard to play against sometimes. Like unless me and Brandon were fucking ripping, like we're not getting out of that. I don't really know if you guys even understood what I just said, but I think that sub duo of Shotzzy Kyler's very, very good together. Like Ant will give you free kills around the map no matter what. Like he's doing shit that gives you free kills just by how annoying he is. Whereas Kyler will come in and just open up a lane that you didn't expect to be open because he just goes in there and just, you know, rips too.